Welcome to Convergence with Karen Holton, episode 13 on People for People Radio. Find out how the personal is political as we explore the politics here on Earth, the exopolitics of our galaxy, and how these intersect with spiritual transformation through my unique perspective. Now, just to catch you up, in episode 8, I shared my latest version of the Quantum Health Transformation Program, Step 9, where we learn more about the practical application of quantum physics, and we examine the benefits of doing light-shadow integration work. In episode 9, I shared my latest version of Quantum Health Transformation Steps 8 and 7, which are the next two steps as we cover this material in reverse order. In episode 9, we covered several ways to self-soothe and integrate our male and female energies to give us more quantum balance in our lives. In episode 10, we covered Quantum Health Transformation Step 6, Detoxification, Parts 1 and 2. I gave you everything you need to know to safely detoxify your body so you can improve your health and achieve a new level of well-being. In episode 11, we looked at methods to assist you to find ways to improve your mental health and make better use of our full range of emotions with Quantum Health Transformation Step 6, Part 3. We also took a deep dive into eating styles and how a biologically superior diet can assist us spiritually and physically with Quantum Health Transformation Step 5. Now that you know how to stop poisoning yourself, in episode 12, we moved on to Quantum Health Transformation Step 4, which is designed to help you to achieve a new level of well-being and to detoxify and become free of the negative influences of the social, political, economic construct. Quantum Health Transformation Steps 9, 8, and 7 form the first tier of training in this free online lifestyle course and will help you to open your mind and expand awareness. Then the information that I share in Quantum Health Transformation Steps 6, 5, and 4 form the second tier of training, which is all about detoxification to improve health, help you to achieve a new level of well-being, and become free of the negative influences of the social construct. You may want to come back and listen to each episode again, as there is a lot of information with some deeper concepts to consider. All of the information that I am presenting here was received as part of a spiritual download, and I believe the details are from the Living Library, which is also known as the Akashic Records, and is integrated with my personal life experience and training. If this is your first time joining us, I encourage you to check out the archives here on People for People Radio or my YouTube channel to find all of the episodes of Convergence. And thank you for joining me. I want to remind you that this system of quantum health transformation works well for me. However, you must synthesize this information and take only that which serves you. At the very least, it is my hope that you will be stimulated to seek your own inner wisdom. Today in episode 13, we delve into Quantum Health Transformation Step 3, Indigo, Understanding and Using Perception Within the Construct, and Manifesting Change. Seeing is believing. This step begins the third tier and final section of this free online lifestyle program. So let's start off with a bit of a brief overview. Step 3 is designed for those who wish to become the change they wish to see in the world and to facilitate the ascension process. It will provide ascension skills to assist with personal evolution. It upskills knowledge and understanding about how we can change the past, present, and future. It provides an understanding of ways that we can work with the ebb and flow of the planet to improve desired outcomes. Now, you might be wondering, how is Quantum Health Transformation Step 3 different from other lifestyle programs? It offers a quantum approach to change your past so your today better matches your desire. It exposes the hidden potential within each season and within the natural ebb and flow cycles of the planet. It provides a deeper, more comprehensive understanding of the law of attraction. Step 3, understanding and using perception within the construct and manifesting change, will teach you about quantum field holography and how to change your past. Techniques to engage the imagination for better manifesting results. How we can make better use of seasonal changes and the natural ebb and flow of life. The positive aspects of disappointment and the positive aspects of disappointment and making mistakes. Techniques to supercharge the law of attraction. A deeper understanding of quantum physics basics, and an alternative process to attain health, wisdom, and wealth. Please feel free to contact me for more information and for assistance with your Ascension program. My services are found under the Shop tab of my website. Again, I highly recommend you buy the PDF version of these lessons so that you will have the transcript, illustrations, and all of the links which are embedded for easy access. You can find all of my PDFs on my website under the Shop tab, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. Step 3, Indigo, using perception within the construct and manifesting change. Seeing is believing. Believe it or not, we can influence the past, present, and future. Continuing from Quantum Health Transformation Step 4, now that we have a better understanding of how we form our perceptual arena and realize ways to adjust this, we can move on to manifesting more so that our lives actually better resemble our desires. So point number 1, I call it seeing is believing. We have all heard the saying, seeing is believing, which usually refers to the thought of, I'll believe it when I see it. But consider this option. When we see something in our mind's eye, which is our imagination, first, and believe it is possible for us, then seeing is also believing. This second option is the one I use as the driving force to bring into the 3D reality that which I desire, but do not yet physically experience. Thoughts really do become things. Ask, believe, and receive. You do not control the environment around you, but you do control your responses to it, which in turn creates a new environment with new outcomes. For an example of how this process worked for me is the way that I was able to lose 178 pounds of excess weight by seeing myself smaller in my mind's eye. We will cover more about this process next week, but believe me when I say that our imagination is a very powerful resource. I believed that permanent weight loss was possible for me, even though I had spent most of my life following one diet after another without permanent success. I went to Tops and Weight Watchers. I followed all of the fad diets, Dr. Atkins, the cabbage soup diet, vegetarianism, fasting, and of course, vigorous exercise. I bought all of the weight loss and diet foods and substituted them for real food. I literally tried everything. And I dieted myself up to over 320 pounds. Then I decided to stop dieting, eat foods that agreed with me and made me feel good. And I also began to visualize myself as a much smaller person. I stopped exercising, but I did go for daily walks. And as I started to shed pounds of fat, I loved to go dancing at the nightclubs on the weekends. I also did a few really weird things. I bought some clothes that were several sizes too small for me, and I tried them on every day to measure my progress. This seemed to accelerate my weight loss as I made my intentions clear to my subconscious self. Since I had gone most of my life barely fitting into what I called my fat clothes, I so much wanted to wear cool stuff and outfits that were trendy. Remember that large size lady shops were only just becoming popular in the 1980s, and most of their clothes were prohibitively expensive. Since it took some time for me to lose 178 pounds, I had time to think about the kind of clothes that I wished to be able to wear. One day, I saw a Barbie doll at a toy shop, which had the skin tone, eye, and hair color similar to my own. I decided to buy her and all of the clothes that I loved, which were made for her. I literally spent time turning this doll into an effigy or a model of myself, and then I would dress her according to the style that I hoped to be able to wear one day. At first, this felt a bit silly, since I was now almost 50 years old. But I continued to tell myself that she was me, and these were the clothes that I would be wearing soon. At this point, I lost the last 80 pounds in about 2 or 3 months, and I totally believe these weird ways of approaching the issue helped to prime my subconscious self and accelerated my weight loss. The point that I wish to stress here is that when I saw this possibility clearly in my imagination, and then created rituals to assist my subconscious to accept and create a smaller version of myself, it came to pass in my physical reality. Soon afterward, I was wearing sizes 6 and 8. I went to the thrift stores when they offered sales, and I bought bag upon bag of the very same clothes that I had bought for my doll. It was uncanny. Here are some of the ways of doing things that you can use to help you get more of what you desire to show up in your 3D life. Point number 2, work with the natural growth and renewal energy flow of the planet. Year in and year out, there is a harmonious flow to the planet, all living things and the forces of nature. If we divide the year by its equinoxes, we find a half year contributes to growth and renewal, and a half year to rest and contemplation. Spring and autumn, the equinoxes, are periods of beginnings and endings, while summer and winter, the solstices, are the event horizons. By working with this natural ebb and flow of growth and renewal, rest and contemplation, we can supercharge our manifesting potential. Autumn, September 21st to December 21st, is a time to complete projects, review successes, and consider things that could use a different approach, and prepare for a period of rest and introspection. As projects wind down to a period of less activity, we have time to review the plan while preparing for renewal And this is a temporary contraction phase. Now is a good time to start adding local root and seasonal vegetables to soups and stews to support the body during this phase. We want to work with the flow of our physical environment. Since less live, raw foods are available during the autumn phase, we can switch over to squashes, yams, sweet potato, onions, and garlic, etc. During the autumn season, I love to go for walks, accompanied by the beautiful fall leaves which scuttle past me and the crisp wind that plays with my hair. As I walk, I think about my past 6 months of choices and experiences, and I do a bit of an analysis of what worked well, what did not, and what steps can I take to remedy any problems that I faced. I do this for my community interactions, state of health, work, and spiritual evolution. Winter, December 21st to March 21st, is a time for rest, planning, and festivities. Work is minimized, making time for more sleep and for eating more nutrient-dense foods, including soups and stews, nuts and seeds, warming spices, and rich-tasting treats to support the body during this contraction phase. This is the best time to explore eating more local winter-grown foods and some richer foods to incorporate into seasonal festivities. Winter is also the perfect time to further explore our spirituality through contemplation and self-reflection. This is also a great time to do online research. Although it is very cold in the winter where I live, there are usually periods of time when I can still go out for a walk if I bundle up well. If you live nearer to the equator, you can continue with daily walks. The winter air is very refreshing and invigorating. It is also a great time to review your goals and think about what you plan to do when the weather warms up. Read more. Go to bed earlier and sleep in more. And give your mind, body, and spirit some time off. Take time to offer love and support to your family, community, and more fully participate in winter festivities. Then there's springtime, which is March 21st to June 21st. It begins another expansion phase and is best spent making needed adjustments to all that we put our hand to. This is the time for more detailed research, reconnecting, and networking with others. We gear up to more physical activity as we begin to eat more local, raw foods as they become available. This is a great time for detoxification and preparation for the abundance which is soon to appear. At this point, I usually loosely plan my upcoming year. I set flexible goals and plan for lifestyle improvements. I get back into a regular walking routine, which definitely contributes to clearer thinking. And I use this time to plan to do some things that I've never done before. This stretches my comfort zone as I learn new skills and think of ways to repurpose old skills that I've already mastered. Summer, June 21st to September 21st, is a time to get out there and enjoy the projects we've developed to full potential. Eat from a bounty of local, raw, fresh vegetables, fruits, and berries to maximize your potential. This is the time to realize your goals. The tweaking and planning are done, and now is the time to just get out there and do it. Whatever you have planned for yourself, now is the time to jump right in. Feel the fear and do it anyways. There is an old saying, make hay while the sun shines. I suggest you make full use of this intense expansion phase. Excuse me. You will probably continue on with daily walks since you have come to appreciate this time for contemplation and self-reflection. But get out there and try some new things that you can do best in the summertime. Learn to swim, roller skate, and surf. Anything that appeals to you. Energy begets energy. So, along with all of the wonderful local raw foods available, are the longer days with extended working hours and plenty of energy to achieve your summer goals. Now you are harnessing the flow of the seasons and are working in alignment with the land, the planet, and the solar system. Why not harness the potential found in every season? Note, this is for people who live in the northern hemisphere, whereas the reverse pattern is true for people living in the southern hemisphere. By now, you are enjoying thinking about your heartfelt desires, creating images of how this might look in your imagination, and are ready to enjoy the fruits of your labors. But at this point, there is something else to consider. Point number 3, resist the urge to run from your situation. It's all about energy. Remember, that which we consciously or subconsciously create remains for some time in our 3D reality. So don't litter your life with manifestation potentials, only to discard or replace them before they come to fruition, due to disappointment or even changing desires. We do not want to show a lack of appreciation for this divine gift by haphazardly charting our course. Take the time to think things through and revise your plan before setting it into action. I recommend that you choose things that will form a foundation for other bigger desires. Examples from my life include clearing my debt, losing 178 pounds of fat, solving communication issues with family members. Each one of these goals set up my future to run smoother and more efficiently. It is easier to accomplish newer goals once we experience a debt-free, healthier, and more supportive reality. Find new ways for that which you brought about, but now feel the urge to discard. Exercise patience as you consider that the grass always looks greener on the other side. Stop reinventing the wheel. Brick by brick, you can build a secure future. Life lessons will come no matter what we ask for. Sometimes our manifesting the thing we desired so much doesn't look or feel like what we imagined it would be. But it came into your life for a reason, so exercise some patience and ride it out to see what you can learn from it. Try to remember that nothing good or bad lasts, because we are involved in a living, expanding, and contracting, ebb and flow situational life experience. A word about disappointment. Let it be a road bump and not a roadblock on your path to joy. Mistakes truly are portals to discovery. And so now a word about shutting down obsolete social controls and about running amok. You have probably noticed by now that this course includes several recommendations to step outside of your socialized programming in order to allow room for some new concepts, behaviors, and ways of being. Some folks wonder, what will become of society if we step outside of our cultural socialization? Well, quite frankly, this socialization works only for a few, but for many of us, this is holding us back from maturing as a species. Following a mainstream path allows us to be controlled by a bureaucratic economic system, which pays no attention to personal sovereignty, health, or spirituality because there is no recognized profit in these. Once we stray in a positive way, we become healthier in our thinking and being, which has a positive ripple effect within society. Kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall, but if we remain sovereign and healthfully intact, we are prepared for anything. Point number 4, self-corrupted memories. Nothing that we have experienced until now is universally real or true. The past is made up of perceptual realities, which are far from accurate, and so it is best not to take them too seriously. Even if we believe what happened to us is real, why not go back and rewrite your story? I have found this to be very beneficial for healing from trauma and disappointment. When we go back and recreate a memory, we experience a different result, which spins off into the shared holographic field known as reality. Here's an example of what is possible from my own life experience. Now, I'm going to try to tell this experience without crying, but it's very emotionally charged for me because it's such a powerful lesson, but I'm going to do my best. So this is my true story. This really, really happened to me and for me, and I really want to share it with you today. Okay. When I was a child, my mother kept herself very busy, and she did not make time to visit with me after school. This always bothered me and made me feel like I was unimportant to my mother, until the day I purposely corrupted this memory. In my new self-created memory, I imagined that every day after school, my mother would get out her china tea set and we would have a little tea party where she gave me all of her attention as she listened to my account of the day. In my new memory, if I had a bad day at school, when I came home, my mother would get out the good china for our tea. This always made me feel valued and loved. Then, each time I thought about a troubled memory of my past relationship with my mother, I simply chose to remember my new and self-corrupted memory of events. This made me feel happy, secure, and loved every time I exercised this new reality. It didn't matter if it was true, because it made me feel good. Okay, this is the incredible part. Then several months later, okay, sorry, I can't help it. It's really profound. Okay. Then several months later, when I was talking to my mom in person, she abruptly turned to me and out of the blue, she said to me, she said to me, Karen, do you remember the tea parties that we used to have after school? I was completely shocked. I had never told my mother about my self-corrupted memories, yet she now shared the same memory. And this was just absolutely miraculous. I'm sorry, I was trying to get a grip here. I'm going to repeat that last part, okay? So after I had been corrupting this memory and planted this false memory of me having these tea parties with my mom, I went to visit her. And one day, just right out of the blue, she turned to me and she said, Karen, do you remember the tea parties we used to have after school? I was beyond shocked. I had never told my mother about my self-corrupted memories. Yet she now shared the same memory. Wow. Self-corrupted memories not only made me feel better, but they seemed to actually change the past. I have several possible explanations for what I experienced. In scientific terms, We are altering our quantum field holography. There is also a possibility that, according to the many worlds theory, I simply changed places with myself in an alternative universe. In short, if the past is holding you back or preventing you from believing in a better you, simply corrupt the old stories to make up better ones. Think of your imagination as a canvas. Your breath is like the paintbrush, and your creative spirit is the paint. You must believe that seeing is believing, but also know that believing is seeing. Charles Hannett once said, quote, "The vibrations of the mental forces are the best, and therefore are the most powerful of the existence," unquote. And I agree with him wholeheartedly. Point number 5, Argyle's sock pattern approach to create energy for change. All things come into being as a process, which unfolds over what we experience as time. Situations have a start point and increase energetically to a peak, and then start to decline. All things experienced in the 3D reality follow an ebb and flow model of expansion and contraction, much like the Argyle sock pattern. This holds true for the process of building relationships, societies, kingdoms, and the new positive timeline. Once we decide on a specific goal or outcome, once we decide on a specific goal or outcome, or the manifestation we are looking forward to, the process begins in that moment. This is what free will means. We are free to will anything into our experience, which benefits us as a learning experience for soul evolution. Once you have set your goal clearly in mind and start to do things which encourage your desired result, you will notice those just noticeable differences that show you that you are on the path to success. These will build to a maximum tipping point before the contraction phase begins. Look for evidence in your common, everyday experiences to confirm that your manifestation is in the works. Just put it out there, and soon you will see that you are on track. As evidence appears in small and larger ways, you will soon see opportunities to assist yourself to gain your desired outcome. This is called working toward your goal. Cooperate with coincidences and synchronicities. Anything you can do to confirm that you are accessing your goal is stacking the energy for your desired outcomes. This increases probability and will mathematically multiply more coincidences and synchronicities. Learn to work with them. Life is complex, and we often work on many goals throughout our life process. Just like an Argyle sock pattern, outcomes will build, reach a tipping point, and then decline. These processes overlap and rarely occur sequentially or individually because everything is connected to everything else. As a practical example, we are living in the old world paradigm, which is in the contraction phase. And at the same time, we are gaining momentum to establish the new positive timeline. We are able to see evidence of both for a while until the old is replaced with the new. Eventually, we will transition into something else again, which is not yet created. Since our journeys involve ups and downs, I wish to offer a note about turbulence. Turbulence is featured in chaos theory, which is a part of quantum mechanics. It is the chaotic state experienced just before manifestation. Energy is pulled from the subatomic space, which is also known as 0 point or the Planck level, spelt Planck, causing a destabilizing effect as it creates drag, and the wavicles cease to be both matter and energy. They solidify, they solidify as either physical or energetic, creating the outcome that we have chosen. And for more about this, go back to Quantum Health Transformation Step 4. When you break everything down into its smaller components, everything has wave-particle duality, also known as wavicles, and is expressed in both mass and energy. So I suggest that you do a search online for subatomic particles and the Planck scale, Planck scale, for more details. But in practical terms, turbulence means that things get messy, even painful, before they become manifest. So when the shit hits the fan, rejoice because your reward is closer than you think. Now is not the time to give up. It comes back to using your courage to step outside of your comfort zone and grasp a quantum reality with all of its benefits. Again, I recommend that you go and watch all of the videos that are part of the Quantum Health Transformation Step 9 to learn the Nubby Ball technique. And again, you can find that on my website at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. Now, to write your own happy story, simply pick a new, uncharted, but thought out, desired manifestation point on your Nubby ball and watch for the resulting changes to unfold in time. As you learned in Quantum Health Transformation Step 4, you will need to keep bringing yourself back to the new route through, basically keeping an eye on your thought patterns, your vocabulary, and your beliefs. But soon you will be able to see the patterns in experiences as they unfold and plot the future by fine-tuning your desires. And you fine-tune your desires through your thought patterns and your beliefs, but also by paying attention to your actions, which can include your vocabulary, perhaps even the choices that you make. Quantum Health Transformation Step 3 Conclusion. In Step 3, you learn techniques to manifest more so that your life better resembles your desires. By using your imagination, you can believe in that which you see. By working with the flow of the planet, we make best use of natural cycles to increase productivity. Dealing with disappointment along the way is a valuable learning experience, and self-corrupting negative memories enhances the present and makes a more desirable future possible. All things experienced in the 3D reality follow an expansion and a contraction model, much like an Argyle pattern, and we are free to will anything into our existence which benefits us for soul development. Finally, turbulence is proof that our desired goals are close to fruition. Next week, we will consider Quantum Health Transformation Step 2, Violet, integration with higher selves. Here's an overview of what to expect. It is designed for those who wish to access their higher selves and the Akashic Records, which is also known as the Living Library. It provides ascension skills to assist with personal evolution. It upskills knowledge and understanding about our subconscious mind and how it ties into the Akashic Records and beyond. It provides a non-religious framework with which to understand and access higher dimensions. You might be wondering, how is Quantum Health Transformation Step 2 different from other lifestyle programs? It offers a non-religious framework for accessing your spirit guides, higher self, and the Akashic Records or living library. It exposes the hidden elements and distractions which might be hindering your personal evolution. It provides an intersection point for heuristics, brain health, and your belief systems. Step 2, integration with higher selves, will teach you about higher selves, spirit guides, and the Akashic Records or living library in universal, non-religious terms. Techniques to access and influence the subconscious mind. How we can customize and make better use of our spiritual life. The positive aspects of brain health and how this facilitates two-way inner communication. It offers demystified teachings that have historically been kept within the realm of arcane or esoteric knowledge. It offers a deeper understanding of how beliefs and attitudes, culture and morality, rules and laws, addictions and distractions affect our reality outcomes and spiritual potential. And it offers techniques to establish better two-way communication with our higher selves and our subconscious mind. Feel free to contact me for more information and for assistance with your consciousness expansion, detoxification, and ascension program. My services are found under the Shop tab on my website, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. Again, I highly recommend you buy the PDF version of these lessons so that you will have the transcript, illustrations, and all of the links which are embedded for easy access. You can find all of my PDFs on my website under the Shop tab. And I am charging $3.99 Canadian, which is, depending on the exchange rate of the day, probably around a little bit less than $3 American. Since we have enough time today, I'm going to add to the lesson and read to you a few more of my published articles. So this one is from June 2016, called The Romantic Singularity by Karen Holton. Everyone loves romance, but sadly, this was missing from my life as I waited for that special somebody to come sweep me off my feet. I believed they would create a romantic environment for me, but little did I realize that true romance comes from within. Now I enjoy a romantic, single lifestyle, custom suited to myself. It started when I noticed women buying each other flowers and small gifts as tokens of their appreciation and platonic affection for each other. I thought, why not pamper myself? I began picking flowers and buying small tokens of appreciation for myself in celebration of the good life that I have created. It is so wonderful to come home to find fresh flowers and a hot pot of my favorite tea steeping under a bright cozy. I kick off my shoes and enjoy the little favors that I've set up for myself throughout each day. When it comes to choosing gifts for others, I rarely know what the individual truly loves and needs, but I know exactly what I want and how I want it. This may sound selfish, but I prefer to think of it as putting myself inside and at the center of my circle of care. Since I work from home, I plan several breaks and infuse many small rewards into my day, which are so lovely to enjoy. Each day is filled with opportunities to spoil myself with romance and comfort. I rarely feel lonely, and I've chosen kind, like-minded friends for when I do want some company. What more could I desire? Romance is part of the healthy lifestyle I enjoy. I prepare ahead beautiful, healthy, and delicious meals and snacks for myself, energizing short trips to places in nature, inviting and deeply relaxing hot mineral baths, and quiet, comforting evenings with my kitty. This rewarding relationship with myself developed in stages as I found routines which worked well for me. First, I found it necessary to develop an inner parent who taught me the benefits of delayed gratification, how to follow a biologically appropriate diet, and is willing to set clear boundaries to protect my inner child. Most of all, I learned to be compassionate and forgiving of myself, which led to becoming a romantic singularity. When I'm ready to share romance with another, my self-reliance will go a long way to ensure that my expectations are reasonable. I can choose to be with someone special because I genuinely like them, rather than for what they might bring to the table. Don't wait for that special somebody to come sweep you off your feet. Create a romantic environment for yourself now. True romance comes from within. And whether you are single or not, you can enjoy a romantic lifestyle custom suited to you. Love yourself first, and every moment can bring joy. End of article. The next article is from July 2016. It's called Roles, Rituals, and Games We Play. And again, it's by myself, Karen Holton. Mother, daughter, and life partner are just a few of the assigned roles I have played during my life, and they worked fairly well while living in the old paradigm. Now, as I observe our real-time evolution into something new, I take responsibility for the roles I played in my past, and am grateful for how they have shaped and prepared me for new paradigm living. The transition of roles is an interesting process. When I stripped off my assigned roles, I felt like an empty vessel waiting to be filled with something unknown, something new. Without a clear sense of identity, I started to shop cafeteria style for the new roles I was ready to try. Well, I'm very happy to say I chose wisely. Then, rituals which no longer served me were discarded in favor of new, some sacred and some just for fun. Rituals are the glue that holds society together, and they are essential for the transition from obsolete to cutting-edge ways of being. Since there is no use for dramatic social game playing in the new paradigm life, my adventure picked up momentum and my relationships became more authentic. We are all born into cultures which require us to assume certain roles, rituals, and learn to play specific social games in order to fit into society. I found out that many of these roles, rituals, and games no longer served me, and worse yet, some prevented me from becoming all that I am. One of the games my culture is steeped in is called the victim triangle. When I spent time rescuing someone identified as a victim, I inadvertently turned complete persons into caricatures of who they really were. This had a this had a detrimental effect on the victimizer, the victim, and the rescuer. These games are not only ineffective, false realities, they are designed to ensure a high level of drama, which distracts us from our higher purpose. Mainstream cultural and social constructs are not healthful for many people. Although we remain law-abiding citizens, more of us are now choosing our own definition of ourselves and are becoming the experts and designers of our own lives. How? by living consciously and tapping into our own inner resources. As I experimented with various roles, I learned to escape from old patterns that just didn't add any joy, peace, or health to my life. I began to explore light shadow work and male female energy integration, which gave me more awareness and personal power. I chose attitudes and ways of knowing that I wished to strengthen, and I let go of the ones that just no longer served me. Finally, meditation and self reflection facilitated my ease into new paradigm thinking and being. Feelings became my compass as new values and new ways of expressing myself emerged. I became my own compassionate observer, became patient with myself, and frequently rewarded my successes. After all, life is an experiment and a great adventure. End of article. Oh, I got room for one more. And this is taken from the October 2016 article called Ascension Symptoms by myself, Karen Holton. I was sensitive to begin with, but once my ascension process kicked in, I became even more sensitive to the point where I felt like I was having physical and emotional reactions to everyone and everything. This suffering became so intense that I was compelled to let go of my former ways of knowing and being, and then my higher power came to my rescue. When life becomes so complex with undesirable thoughts, feelings, and experiences, the soul bypasses the mind and joins forces directly with the body. In the past, childbirth introduced me to the power and intelligence of my body. This new experience was just as intense, painful, and unbearable. And just like my experience with childbirth, I was forced to bear it since this process rendered my mind's will impotent. My suffering created a state of childlike innocence as I gave up my former belief systems. I became filled with curiosity and wonder, combined with a sincere desire to find relief. I had no choice but to follow the path of the divine fool, a place of not knowing and innocence, a point of spiritual rebirth. My suffering drove me to pursue well-being, and as my journey continued, addictions faded and wisdom surfaced. I took steps towards a healthier lifestyle and started to reevaluate my ways of being and doing. At first, I experienced moments of relief, which encouraged me to continue. In time, moments of relief turned into hours of relief, which later became days of wellness. Addictions, poor health, extra weight, emotional distress, anxiety, and depression gradually just faded from my reality. I still get the odd bad day, but my worst day now is better than my best day used to be. Within my many hours of self-reflection, I pondered the cause for my suffering and realized that it was provoked by the culmination of my life's choices. I was responsible for the logical consequences of blindly following mainstream beliefs about pharmaceuticals, lifestyle, food, and everything else. The universe was giving me a golden opportunity to wake up, love myself, and learn to take exquisite care of my body temple. This process allows me to literally vibrate at a higher frequency and to activate more of my DNA. I am responsible for my own recovery. There is no way, there's no way out of the suffering but through it. with the solid conviction that since I got myself into this state, I could also get myself out. I began my very spiritual journey of self-discovery. Detoxification, experimenting with new ways of eating, learning to get in touch with my body sensation feedback system, and learning to trust myself as an authentic being all led to my recreation. Now, as a new being, I experience life on a new level. Ascension symptoms only last until we make the shift to new paradigm realities. End of article. Okay, so that's about it for today, but just a reminder, this online course is free, and if you would like to help support my work, please purchase some of my beautiful Zendomes organites. Due to the pandemic, we are having difficulty sourcing supplies, and so we're unable to make more at this time, but there's still plenty to choose from. If you want to help create the change you wish to see in the world, or make contact with ET, and or participate in the Intergalactic Resettlement Program, take exquisite care of the temple body, raise your vibrational frequency, and learn from the Quantum Health Transformation Program. Let me know if you have any questions about this or the Intergalactic Resettlement Program, and I will do my best to answer them on my next show. You can email me at forbiddentransformation@gmail.com. Join me and bring your friends as we go live at 1 p.m. Mountain Time every Tuesday here on People for People Radio. A special thank you to Gaz and Vanessa for hosting me and moderating for me on People for People Radio. And much love and light to you, the viewers. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If you would like to enjoy more of my content, check out my website at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. That's KarenHolton healthcoach.com, where you will find an abundance of free resources to assist with energetic ascension into physical, mental, and spiritual paradise. You will find the 9 steps to quantum health transformation, a free, no strings attached, comprehensive online lifestyle course. The Quantum Guide Show, which I am host, interviews with awakened masters. Join us and let them share their quantum work with you. Forbidden Transformation with Karen and Chris. I co-host along with Chris Matthew of Forbidden Knowledge News. And from this show, you can learn how to make positive ET contact, improve your life, and find your experiencer community. And then I also offer the Fringe View. Science fiction becomes science fact as you learn about my real-life paranormal and extraterrestrial experiences from my various podcasts. And just again, I will mention, if you would like to support my work, check out my online shop where you will find Zendomes Organite. This is my unique brand of orgone generators. They are ethically sourced, they're handmade, and they're double charged for maximum effect. What I mean by ethically sourced is they are not made in a factory, they are not made in a sweatshop, and they are not made by slave labor. They're always handmade. And then, of course, I do my own quantum entanglement process with them so that they are fully and double charged for maximum effect. I also offer comfort crystals, a limited collection of energetically infused semi-precious stones. Also, there's lifestyle services. I offer workshops, assessments, and one-on-one support and coaching. And I also offer PDF downloads, which are printable shareable copies of my lessons. So thank you for joining me. And again, my website is www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. You can email me at forbiddentransformation@gmail.com. And of course, you can always reach me here on People for People Radio, www.peopleforpeople.ning.com. And then I also have my YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/C/Karen Holton TV. And I now have a backup channel on Odyssey, spelled ODYSEE. You can find me at www.odyssey.com/Karen Holton TV.